Council, thanks very much. I hope I didn't interrupt some important conversations there, but it's good to hear your chat. It's too bad it's such a nice night. We could be working, couldn't we, eh? Anyway, we'll call the meeting to order right at 6 o'clock. We'll begin the land acknowledgement. This gathering by acknowledging that the land upon which we meet is the traditional territory of First Nations people who have a long-standing relationship with the land, water, and regions of Southwest Middlesex. The nations along the banks of the Thames include the Chippewa of the Thames, Oneida Nation of the Thames, Munsee Delaware Nation, and Delaware Nation of Moraviantown. We convey our respect to our First Nation neighbors and thank them for their contributions to our culture, community, our past, and partnerships in the future. I'll call if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interest of any counselor or the nature thereof. Is there any? Seeing no hands, we'll move on to the confirmation of the agenda. It's been circulated. The recommendation is to accept the agenda of April 22nd as circulated. Is there a mover and a seconder for that? Thank you, Councillor Emery. Thank you, Martin. Councillor Vink. Okay, we've got that. Delegations and presentations. We have Jason Broderick. We're pleased to have you here, Jason. We know that you're.
Excuse me, Mayor, could we just get that
We got to
carried?
vote on that, don't we? Yeah, all in favor? Carried. Okay, that's great. Jason, you're on deck. You'd like to find your way to this single desk here, and staff will make sure that you're wired. If you want to hit that gray button on the mic there. Okay.
I feel like I'm at a congressional
Yeah,
hearing.
just about it, isn't it? Eh? Yeah.
We
Well,
good to
we have differences of opinion, but it's not like Congress in
Yeah,
the
it's not
US.
the
A
same.
little tamer. Jason, thank you very much for coming. We know you're retired from the GDHS work environment, and you're here to seek some funding for a special project you're involved in. And you please take your time. You've got
Okay.
10 minutes
Awesome.
there, and longer if you need it. We can squeak an extra minute in. So you
Awesome.
lead off.
Thank you very much. So first of all, good evening and thank you all for your time today. What began in GDHS in 2019 as two modest 12 by 8 native planting areas has grown into something much more significant. A large-scale pollinator habitat that now supports bees, butterflies, birds, and the occasional tree frog and red-tailed fox. Over the past 6 years, we have transformed approximately 20,000 square feet into traditional grass into a thriving native habitat. Thousands of native plants have now support biodiversity, improving soil health, create a dynamic living outdoor classroom for students. But this project is no longer just a garden. It has become something the entire community can take pride in. It's about community education and long-term environmental stewardship. It gives students real-world opportunities to connect learning with action in science, sustainability, and civic responsibility, while showing how a community can come together to support something truly meaningful. The final phase of this project is simple but important: a permanent interpretive sign. The sign will tell the story how a small idea grew into a recognized community-supported environmental initiative. It will educate visitors, support curriculum-linked learning, and formally acknowledge the role of this municipality and our community partners, which are many, and how they played making it possible. For the relative small investment of approximately $400, this becomes a lasting legacy, something visible, educational, and community-driven. This is not just a garden. It's proof that when a community comes together around education and environment, something lasting and meaningful can take root, no pun intended. Thank you for your time and consideration. We would be grateful for any support that this council can offer, and I would be happy to answer any questions when I'm finished. I would also be pleased to organize a tour of the garden, which I know some of you have already been to a few years ago. Usually in June, July, better in August when things are in full bloom. So you can experience the impact that we have up there. So thank you very much. If you don't mind just scrolling down a little bit, just to show some pictures there. So that's what the sign right now draft is going to look like. It's going to be about 3 by 5 feet. If you scroll down, it's going to be on a 4-color process. It's on some kind of 3mm, whatever that pale panel white finish trim gloss UV laminate is going to be. It's an aluminum finish, so it should last quite long. The UV to protect it from the light. And then again, if you did read the pre-read, you should have seen those signs were already installed in fall of 2025. So if you walk back there in the garden, there's a bunch of signs the students made over the last couple of years that we installed last year. And this one will be something about the size of that one there, but it'll be a permanent sign, just like that one. But those ones right now are laminate signs that we can replace. So that board there can be replaced. You can just scroll up a little bit more. So there's some of the interpretive signs already that are in there. Those are more specific to certain plants for certain reasons why we did what we did. And then if you scroll down some more, again, there's just some pictures of different plants that are in there. And you keep going. There are some of our community partners. CanGrow has been very supportive over the last couple of years, donating, I don't know how many bags of compost we received, 27, 30 bags approximately, 2,500 pounds each. There's some kids during COVID helping us out. No Frills was awesome at donating. If you scroll down just a little bit, go back a little bit. That picture on the right there, that's, when you go to No Frills in the summertime and they have all those gourds or pumpkins in the big cardboard boxes, we took all those, laid those down, kill the grass. Dave McEachran there is on the tractor doing a lot of work for us. That's it. I'm not sure if there's some. The picture on the right, top right, is when there's Alan right there, actually. When we had I'm not sure what we called it back in 2023, I believe it was. And then I like the one in the bottom right there. That's one of the students that we helped out. That's a native tall sunflower last year, approximately about 14 feet high. And when you go back there in the summertime, again, not a pun, but it's a buzz of activity with animals and the pollinators. It's truly something that's taken, again, my wife should deserve more credit than she gets, because I had 2 12 by 18 tarps and that's where I was going to stop. But we just kept on going, and now it's about 20,000 square feet. So I don't know what that increase is, but it's quite substantial. So again, any help that you can give us to fund this. We already have received a donation from one of the counselors. Thank you, Mr. McGill. Personal donation. So we will take that, and whatever the shortfall is will come out of my pocket. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Any
Thank you,
questions?
Jason. Yep, you just retain that position you've got there, and we'll certainly open for questions. Jason, just to kind of put it in perspective, we are beyond and past budget, but we always consider
100%.
Things that come late to see if it's at all attainable. And council has a choice to refer this back to our treasury for study and to see if we can find the funds somewhere, because most of our funds have already been allocated. 100%. But there's always ways to accommodate requests, or at least we try to in some cases. Failing which, there's always another year. But anyway, council, any questions?
I was going to bring a hat just to pass that around.
Might have got some. Might have got some. Any questions at all? Okay, it looks good. The faculty at GDHS, is there any help coming from the faculty at all? I see you and your wife out there and the students. Are there others?
We're looking at that. As you know, the Ontario government has taken over the school board. So I know funding is tight. I met with the principal on Monday and asked if we could figure out if there's any money coming from the school board and or the faculty. We are going to look at doing some fundraising. Again, I'm sure if I pass the hat around at the school, I'll get some money. But again, I thought I'd reach out to the municipality since you guys have recognized officially last year. And again, I didn't realize the budget. If I would have maybe got in before the budget, then maybe it would have been something that's easier to get. But when I reached out earlier this year, I'm not sure who it was, but just said, why don't you just come and speak to the council and see what can happen? So
Yep, we can do that. The council certainly make the decisions and or advise staff of what direction to take. Councillor Haggett?
I think I'd like to support the $400.
Yep, we can. We can expedite it and ask Treasury to find it from somewhere. Is there a second to that? Ed, thank you very much, Councillor Myers. All right, on the floor. Questions? We have a mover and a seconder. Any further questions? Yes, Councillor Vink.
You Mayor, to Jason.
yes, sir.
Now, this property is owned by the school board, right?
Yes.
So do you have to get permission from them every year, or how does that work?
Because I'm retired, or just because, I mean, when I
Well,
was,
because it's owned by the school board.
I usually go with I'd rather beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. But no, yes, I do have to meet with the principal and have everything okayed with them. So that sign will be put through to them just to make sure everything's fine. But in the 6 years that I've been there, I've never had any problems. Now that I'm retired, I have a good working relationship with the principal now. I'm reaching out to the school board as well to try to keep the inroads going so that I can continue while I'm in the community. I'm also trying to have people who are currently in the school to take over the baton. I have 2 teachers right now that I'm working with to be the stewards when I'm not there. But yes, I don't know if that answers your question.
And just one question. It's more of a volunteerism with students and a self-interest, or is it part of an academic curriculum?
It's more of a volunteer. I'm trying to embed as much as I can into the curriculum. So for example, with the DE class that's there, they come out regularly to help.
Just that acronym, just explain that.
Developmental education.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
That dovetails nicely into Quad County, which I'm reaching out to help keep them maybe involved into it as well. There's not an official course that's tied to the garden. That's one down.
Okay. Any further questions? Council, there's been a mover and a seconder to allocate $400 towards the project, pollinator garden. I'll call the question. All in favor? Passed unanimously. You've got your money.
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it.
No problem.
This I know I have, thank you very much. This has really hit my heart very, very, very much. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah,
We're glad to have you in our community.
thank you.
We want you to stay here for a while, though. Don't think about moving away.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Council, thank you. We'll move on to number 5, the consent agenda. I'll go through these, and council, if there's any concerns or any interest in any of these 9 items, please raise your hand and we'll try to accommodate your wishes to the floor. Draft regular minutes of council, April 8th. Voucher report, March 2026. Middlesex County meeting highlights. The MLHU summary for March 19th. Watson and Associates letter on Bill 98, development charges. Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Municipal Buy Ontario Procurement Directive. Municipal Engineers Association, harmonization of municipal road construction standards and associated governance models. Number 8, Region of Municipality of Waterloo, resolution of support regarding community safety and well-being. And the last, City of Mississauga resolution to support for maintaining democratically elected school board trustees? Don't see any hands. Is there a mover and a seconder to accept the consent agenda as presented? Councillor Haggett, Councillor McCollum. Questions? All in favor? Carried. We are now going to go into a committee of adjustment. I'll take a mover and a seconder to suspend the council meeting to go into committee. Is there a mover and a seconder? Councillor McCollum, Councillor McGill, all in favor? Carried. Atlanta, thank you for being here. And take it away there.
Thank you, Mayor. Through you. So the purpose and effect of this application for consent is to sever a parcel, of land for the creation of a rural residential lot. And the purpose of the report was to provide the committee with a list of conditions for consideration. So the lands are subject to application for official plan amendment 06/2025, which is OPA number 5 to the Southwest Middlesex official plan, and was adopted by Southwest Middlesex Council on March 18th, 2026. So OPA number 5 seeks to establish an open space special policy area number 1 designation on a portion of the subject lands to permit the creation of a lot for residential purposes and to permit a residential use in the form of a single unit dwelling and accessory building. So OPA number 5 is to be considered by the County of Middlesex, which is the approval authority for official plan amendments at a future meeting date. Also, the lands are subject to application for zoning bylaw amendment P15-2025, which was approved by Southwest Middlesex Council on March 18th. And that application sought to rezone the proposed severed lot that is being the proposed severed lot that's being requested through application B11-2025. Rezoning from site-specific open space OS-5 to rural residential zone, and that's to permit residential uses in the form of a single unit dwelling as well as an accessory building. And so the zoning bylaw amendment requires approval from the County of Middlesex in order to be in force and effect with regard to the official plan amendment. And then through this consent, the applicants are requesting to create that rural residential lot. So planning staff did not bring forward an official plan amendment, zoning bylaw amendment, or conditions of consent with the original evaluation report, as the planning recommendation was refusal for all 3 applications. Conditions of consent have been attached to the planning report. So staff recommend the report be received for information. Thank you.
Thank you, Alana, very much. Council, just to put this in perspective, Colleen, please correct me if I'm wrong. This is not a public meeting, so we're going to shorten some of the steps in here are not required. And of course, at the end of the day, when we're done this subject, we can accept the recommendation, receive for information, and it's held in limbo status, I guess, or council can approve the recommendation and tell staff to proceed. And of course, as you know, that any decision that differs from what the planner's recommendation is, there's always that chance that it may be appealed by the county. I would say not usually, but occasionally. Okay. So there's no applicant to speak, but council remarks and questions. I think this is a great opportunity to ask them right now. And of course, as you know, that this is in relationship, I believe the application was Silver Dove Estates. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay. Any questions? All right, council, there's a recommendation before you. You want to give staff a different direction than what was stated here? Yes, Martin, go ahead. Okay. Is there a seconder for that?
Okay, so if you would like, I can go through the conditions with you that would go
All
with
right.
an approval. So just to reiterate, that the planning recommendation was refusal on February 18th and was directed to prepare conditions of the consent for consideration. So the corresponding official plan amendment and zoning bylaw have been addressed at the March 18th meeting, and that has already been passed on to County Council. at this point. It hasn't gone to council yet, but it should be shortly. So the current motion is to receive for information. If you wish to approve this severance, there are 11 conditions that would go with this. So what I can do is just kind of give you a really
You can-
quick outline.
yep.
Yeah.
Coles Notes version.
You
of
got it,
Yeah.
you got it. So this would be to receive for information, and that the application submitted, which proposes to sever a portion of the land from the property municipally known as 4838 Switzer Drive, be approved subject to the following conditions. That the certificate of consent under section 5342 of the Planning Act shall be given within 2 years of the date of notice of the decision. That the owner's solicitor submits an undertaking in the form of satisfactory to the Secretary Treasurer of the Committee of Adjustment to register an electronic transfer of the title. The application for the official plan amendment 06-2025 will be in full force and effect. And also that the application for zoning bylaw amendment P15-2025 needs to be in full force and effect. That the taxes on the property are paid in full. That the owner initiate and assume, if required, all costs associated with the preparation of a revised assessment schedule for all drainage works. That the applicant provide a complete septic design plan prepared by a qualified professional. That the applicant pay 5% of the value of the land as cash in lieu of parkland dedication. And then an entrance permit be obtained for the severed lands, and that a new municipal address be assigned to the severed land. And a preliminary survey showing the severed lands be submitted to the satisfaction of the municipality prior to being deposited at the land registry office. And finally, that a copy of the deposited reference plan be submitted to the satisfaction of the municipality.
Okay, thank you, Colleen. Any further questions? Yes, Councilor McGill.
Well, unless I missed something, we didn't follow the agenda here, did we?
No, not particularly. I was
So-
told that it
No,
was in this.
I'm going to come back to the minutes afterwards.
Oh,
Th-
okay.
Those didn't get, yeah, I have noted that that wasn't done, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll get this out of the way first, council. Any questions? Any confusion? Little, maybe, okay. By accepting the recommendation, this severance will be still going through. It'll still have the endorsement of Southwest Middlesex from a previous meeting, is that correct? Or if we accept the recommendation to receive this for information, that that severance has been approved by this council, is it not? And it is now in the process of going before the county of Middlesex. Is that correct?
Well, the OPA is going to be going to county council right
Okay.
now for approval.
All right.
So I mean, you can approve these, but it's also going to be subject to county council, is my
Okay.
understanding. For the OPA.
Okay. All right. Okay. Tough question. I have to get clarity on this. The most expeditious way of making the dreams of these property owners become a reality would be to just to approve the recommendation, and is there an alternative to receiving this for information? That's what I'm asking. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I think it's an important file, and I think that Colleen, you're gonna have to help me with
So,
clarity on this.
The alternate was to receive for information, so that was the recommendation from the planner. And then you had that alternate there of approving it. So it's still going to go to county council for the OPA. And these conditions, what it looks like to me is that it comes into effect if everything is passed with the OPA and with this zoning bylaw. So I think county council has to come back and approve the OPA.
Very often, they don't even bring it forth if we make a decision like that. In the past, it's left to their determination whether they should bring it back or accept the wishes of a municipal council's decision. Is that not the way it?
I'd
Go
have to defer to Elena for that.
Sorry, through you, Mayor, can you please repeat that?
Uh, Council has deemed it appropriate that the request for severance be
Mhm.
completed
Mhm.
and approved. And we would like to see the development go through as the applicant has planned.
Mhm.
By if I'm reading council right on a previous vote, by accepting this recommendation, are we shortchanging that former decision, or how can we expedite this from to happen?
So through you, Mayor. So essentially, my recommendation is to receive for information. So should council wish to approve, they would, you would consider the resolution that Colleen shared.
Yes, I agree with the conditions. Okay. I've got
Yes,
it.
I don't know that that's going to expedite it, though. I mean, it still has to go through the process of having the
Yeah,
OPA approval.
Okay. All right, but yeah, it just seems like the endorsement of this recommendation may appear to have some hesitation to it rather than just approve it with those conditions. Anyway, I've asked all the questions here. Council, any further questions? I'll call the vote. The move,
I'm sorry, Mayor,
uh,
can you tell me who moved and seconded?
Councillor Vink moved the motion, and it was seconded by Councillor McCollum, I think. Yep. Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? All opposed? Carried. Okay, moving on here.
And then can we get the
Yeah,
minutes
we're gonna
approved?
backtrack to the minutes there on number 3. The municipality of Southwest Middlesex, February 18th meeting, the Committee of Adjustment have been received and circulated. Is there a motion to approve them as received? Councillor Haggett, seconder for that, please. Councillor McCollum, all in favor? Carried. We have that. Number 4. And we will go to number 5, adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn? Thank you. Councilor McGill, Councilor Emery. All in favor? Carried. We are now at 7, and we are discussing the is now a court of revision we'll enter into. We need a motion to move into a court of revision, and I respectfully ask that Councillor Vink, Councillor Scholdice, Councillor Emery, and Councillor McGill be part of that court of revision. And without any objection, I can share it. And we will form the court of revision for the study of the wards outlet drain number 1. And that council temporarily adjourn the meeting at 6:28 to move into the court of revision. Is there a mover and a seconder? Councillor Emery, seconder. Councillor Vink, all in favor? Thank you very much. George, welcome. If you
Thank
could
you,
give
Your
us an overview of the work required.
Yes, thank you. We're here tonight to talk about the Wardsville Outlet Drain, the quarter revision. So this is the distribution of assessments. It was pointed out at the consideration meeting that there was an incorrect identification of Longwoods Road as being property of Southwest Middlesex and not County Middlesex. So we had circulated a revised schedule assessment which corrected that error there. So that's been circulated, I believe, in advance here. Other than that, I have not been made aware of any appeals, so we would recommend that the the schedule assessment be accepted by the court with that one minor change. And if there's any questions, I'd welcome them through you.
Okay, thank you very much. Again, this has been given council first and second reading. And we'll just proceed from there. There is no property owners present for questioning. And any comments from council before we accept the recommendation or consider accepting the recommendation? Any questions? Okay, George, you must have done it well. The recommendation is before you. And we'll call the vote. All in favor?
I'm sorry, who moved it
Oh,
and seconded,
oh, I
sir?
thought there was, yeah, okay, yeah, geez, I better get focused here tonight. Counselor Scholdice, Counselor Emery, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. 17-2, George, Floyd Winship drain, Walsh Branch,
That-
2026.
Mayor, could we adjourn from the Court of Revision?
Okay, all right, okay. There's not two entities to that,
Yeah,
okay? we can-
those ones
we
go
can
into
do
the
that.
public.
Okay.
meetings.
A motion to adjourn, okay, adjourn. Deputy Mayor Scholdice, Councilor McGill, all in favor? This is carried. Andrew, I think you're on next, are you? I fear so. To consider the Floyd Winship drain, if you could take it over and inform us of this this entity here.
The Floyd Winship drain was a result of a Section 4 petition, and it was completed by Spreet's office, so I will defer to George for the design.
Thank you. Through you, your worship. Yes, this is a Section 4 petition for a new drain here. This area was historically served by a private drain. There is an existing drain that goes to the McCann drain there, sorry, my mistake. And it is a relatively flat farm. It's sandy there and there's no fall one way or the other. So we looked at the options of the most economical way to drain this farm. And because there was some existing wet spots along the west side of the farm, rather than put a long branch to the McCann drain plus 2 branches over to pick up these wet spots, it was more economical to take a route to the west. The landowner petitioned for this. We talked with the neighbor to the west who has a private drain that already serves some of these areas, and they did not wish to disturb that existing drain. They wished to leave it in place. It was working well for their needs. So we ran kind of parallel with that and emptied into the Floyd Winship. The Floyd Winship does have a little bit of sediment in it and would recommend it be cleaned out in the near future. But however, that can still be done with the parameters of the existing drain report. There's no need for improvement beyond what the old report showed. So that doesn't form part of this report. It's approximately 426 meters of 14 to 10 inch tile. And then it at the top end there, it has a drain and a catch basin up to Concession Drive and then goes across the farm. If there's any questions, I'd welcome them through you. The anticipated cost of this project is $95,000 and it is a 2-inch design.
You? No property owners present that are asking questions. Any comments or questions from council on this? Martin, please go ahead.
You Mayor Allen, to George, I had a phone call from one of the Winships. And when I looked at this map here, the watershed area doesn't cover any of their property, according to this map. And so they're wondering why they're sort of having to pay into it. I realize the outlet is on their property, but they have a drain that covers all their property. So maybe you could explain a little bit about that.
Yes, thank you. I will mention that I'm happy to explain this, but this would be more a matter for the Court of Revision, and which will be held at a future date. But the reasoning behind that is they have an existing drain that serves these areas. By constructing this new drain, we will be cutting off a large amount of flow from that drain. So in its current capacity, it doesn't offer a high level of service to the area. When we remove all this area that's connected to it currently, their private drain will function at a much higher standard. So rather than replace that at a higher standard that's needed for the drain, we avoided that, left that in place, but it will now function better. I don't know the history of who paid for that. Currently, that private drain serves both their property, the road, and the upstream property. And when it's done, it will not service the upstream property anymore. So you've essentially disconnected over half the watershed of that private drain, therefore allowing it to function at a higher level. Does that make sense? What they're, in a way? Yes, but I don't know what the agreement was made, but they were allowed to connect to that historically, right? And now they're being disconnected. So rather than upgrade that system, we've done a separate system to avoid having to do that work. So we spent money to avoid having to spend more on their property.
Okay, that will come in the quarter revision, discussions like that, we can, go in. The recommendation is, Council of Municipality Southwest Middlesex accept the engineer's report in reference to the Floyd Winship Drain Branch 2026 and refer the associated bylaw to the bylaw section for first and second reading only. Is there a mover and a seconder for the recommendation? Councilor Miguel moved it. Is there a second? Councilor Emery? And we're going to give the opportunity for questions again, just to clarify any concerns any councilors have. Yes, Councilor Miguel, please go ahead.
To George, so tonight we're just voting on approving the engineering design of the drain, not how the costs are assessed. Okay.
Through your worship, yes, this would be the physical elements of the design. Any assessment would be referred to the quarter revision. I would be happy to follow up too with the landowner to explain our reasoning to make sure they understand after this meeting.
I think in view of the communication received, Councilor Mink, that would be a great idea to reach out to them and make sure that there's no concerns. Go ahead, Councilor Miguel, another question?
I guess this is more concerning the costs, but I think I'll ask it tonight anyway. So it's a 2-inch. They're usually 1.5. Did both property owners agree to 2 inches for the drainage coefficient?
Through your worship, no, the Walsh property had requested that drain and they paid the increased cost entirely. So there was no assessment to any of the other properties.
Yeah, but it's basically all their water going into it anyway, I think.
It is the majority of their water. They also receive water from a significant portion of Concession Drive and from Big Bend Road. So it's the majority of the water that's being serviced is the county road, the township road,
Right.
and their personal property.
Okay. Well, George, you're going to have to use your communication skills on this one, I think. But the recommendation is there. It has been moved and seconded. I'll call the question. All in favor of the recommendation of the engineer's report? All opposed? Carried. Now we're on 7.3, the McCann Drain. Council will consider the report prepared by Street and Associates dated February 27th. George, can you open the conversation up on this one, please?
Thank you, your worship. This is a report on the McCann Drain here. The existing drain here was constructed in 1955 and was in poor working order. So the landowner had requested to make an improvement to the existing drain here. There's approximately 300 meters of drain here on that serves the same farm that we were just talking about. This serves the east side of that farm. So this is just north of Concession. The new drain would involve 12-inch tile at the top end and 18-inch tile at the bottom end. It is sandy out there, so the whole drain would be anticipated to be installed in a condition suitable for poor soils. And the anticipated cost of this project is $69,000. This again is a 2-inch design coefficient, so a little bit above the coefficient that the Ministry of Ag and Food has as their standard. Again, that was at the landowner request, and that was reviewed at an informal meeting with both owners. This area of the watershed is also shrank a little bit because some of that water was taken west by that Walsh branch that we just considered to the Floyd Winship. As we noted, this whole farm is flat and pockety, so there isn't really a natural way that this farm wants to go. It's whichever way you take the subsurface drains. there's any questions, I'd welcome them through you.
Okay, council, the invitation for questions has been extended. Are there any? Councilor Miguel.
I know it'll be in the report here somewhere anyway, but is this one 2 inches as well? Yeah.
Any further questions? The report seems to be given in its entirety. The recommendation of the council is to accept the engineer's report in reference to the McCann Drain 2026 and refers the associated bylaw to the bylaw section of the agenda for first and second reading. Is there a mover and a seconder for this? Councilor Vink, seconder for this? Councilor Haggett? Call the question. All in favor? Carried. All opposed? Sorry, I should have asked that. Carried, okay. All right. George, thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, we keep adding to the list of municipal drains. Andrew, they're getting larger. I thought 800 was a lot, but we seem to be over and above that now. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, George. Safe drive. We're at number 8 in the agenda, staff reports. I'll go through the parameters of these. We certainly miss our CAO. Hope she's enjoying her holiday. Clerk, there's none. Finance, there's none. Public Works, 8-4. Andrew, government drain number 1, realigned drain. PUV DS 2026-07. Can you walk us through this, please?
Yes, sir. This is a continuation from last month's meeting regarding this drain. This is the point where the the council can appoint Spreet and Associates to realign a section of government drain number 1 in the area indicated on the map that has attached. It's a relatively small area, but it is mainly for modern farming equipment. This property has been rented out for a number of years, and now it's owned and operated by the same farmers. So at this point, I would recommend that council appoint Spreet Associates to write a report under section 78 of the Drainage Act to change the course of government drain number 1 for lots 3 and 4 of the former Mosa Township. And I'm open for any questions if there are any.
Thank you. Council, any questions in relationship to this application? Councilor McGill?
Well, sometimes it's a little hard to tell for sure to look at these drawings, but to Andrew, this is a open ditch, right? It's not an enclosed drain.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, it is an open ditch, yeah. And that's what they're proposing, to keep it as an open ditch, just to move it so that they can work that area.
Any further questions? Recommendations before you, council. What's your wish? To accept the recommendation, appoint the engineer Spreet Associates as they recommended? Yes, Councilor McGill, seconder for that. Councilor Myers, all in favor? Carried. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, we'll get that. I think that's it. What have we got? Okay. Community services, 8-5, community services and facilities, there's none. 8-6, fire, there's none. Building, there is none. Planning, none at this time. Notice of motion, we're dealing with one in closed session. Correspondence and petitions, I haven't been advised of any. There's no unfinished business. New business, the consent agenda was accepted in its entirety. We're all right there. County council and conference updates. It was in the consent agenda. Announcements, are there any? Yes, yeah, okay, you bet, yeah. Yes, Margaret, go ahead.
Through you, Mayor, I would just like to report that 4 schools participated in Earth Day today, doing a townwide cleanup. I myself could not help. Mike was there. And it looked like a good turnout of kids, and the Lions Club fed them hot dogs and chips and
Oh, that's
whatnot.
great. Mhm. Yeah, I saw them working at Simpson Park there, there was a group. Yep, Mark, go ahead, please.
Glencoe Presbyterian Church is having a pork barbecue dinner to drive-through Saturday, May 30th, 5 to 6:30 p.m. Meat by Appen Barbecue, $25 each, and I've got tickets if anybody wants any.
Thank you. Yep, I'll take 2 as well, Mark, okay? You just sold 6 tickets on that. That's pretty good. Yeah, 2. Yeah. That's good. All right. That's if I have $50 on me. I'm not sure. But there I do. I think I can squeeze it. I'll borrow it from Alex if I need it. Okay, Alex? Oh, yeah. All right, any further announcements? We're okay there. Then at this point, a motion to go into closed session, and we certainly want to include Alex and Kevin in this as well. Pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act, that we will suspend the regular meeting of council, be temporarily adjourned at on or around 6:46 to permit the holding of a meeting in closed session for the purposes of pursuant to the section 239 of the Municipal Act. Your mover and seconder, please. Councillor Hagan, seconder for that, please. Oh, Councillor McCollum, all in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. We're going to